Hi, my name's Rico and welcome to Brooklyn and Brooklyn Cookin. Today we're going to make some sausage, or as we say in Brooklyn, sausage. So we have here a pork shoulder, or also known as a pork butt, also known as a Boston butt. And we don't call it a Boston butt because the Yankees kicked Boston's butt. So anyway, we can't get this into the hopper. So we're going to have to cut it up. So we're going to give ourselves a little room and get this out of the way for a second, and then we'll start cutting. This is a boned in pork shoulder or Boston butt, and we have a couple of knives here. We have a chef's knife and we have a boning knife. Chef's knife is not the way to go with this. If that's all you have, that's what you use, and we'll use a boning knife. Now you notice there's a lot of fat on here, and that's why we use Boston butt for sausage, because we need the fat. So we're just going to start cutting. We get through, and we're going to make, you don't have to be that fancy with this. The whole idea is to just be able to get it through the grinder. Now, even though you want the fat, some of this you want to pull away. Like if you see any silver skin or connective tissue, that's just a pain in the neck because it doesn't get through the grinder that well, and it's going to clog it up. We'll work around the bone a little bit. Just keep cutting. Like I say, we just want to make these sizes that will get through the grinder. And we keep chopping. Whole thing shouldn't take too long. Now, if you don't want to go through this process, you go to your butcher or whatever you get your meat. I'm sure they will be happy to grind this up for you and take one step away. Or if you don't have a grinder, you would have to do that. We cleaned that butt pretty good. Somehow that doesn't sound right, but that's what's left of the bone. By the way, it's a lot easier if you buy a boneless pork butt, which I thought I was buying, but I didn't look. See, it happens when you don't read. And this is the stuff you don't want. We'll save a couple. So you just want to get as much as that silver skin out of there as possible. Well, that's just gonna ruin havoc on you. You know, if we had a big commercial grinder, it's a little different. Pretty much the whole pork butt, that's really all we left with fat. That's not going in, and the bone. We started off with like 7 pounds, 14 ounces. We'll see what we finish up at. And plops, the other stuff we cut in the refrigerator to keep it cold, because very important, especially when working with small homemade grinders, keep it cold or that fat's going to melt and really clog up. Okay, we plopped the meat in the freezer for a little bit to get it cold. Actually, to be honest, I was a little hasty, and I tried to start it up and we got clogged up and we had a mess. So it's important to keep this stuff cold. See how nice it goes when it's cold? Got about 6 or 7 pounds to go. I'm not going to bore you with the whole thing. And when it's cold, it goes good, even with a little homemade thing. All the meat's ground up. I measured outside 5 pounds so I can give somewhat of a recipe, but don't get too hooked up on recipes, because if you look at any recipe, you look up anything you're going to cook, you'll see 87 different types of recipes. Who uses this, who uses that. Put in what you like. Put in your mother-in-law for all I care. But anyway, we're going to start with 38 grams of salt. That's kosher salt, which is about 2 tablespoons. And we'll have these are going to be sweet sausages. So we got some sweet paprika, which is about a tablespoon, which is about 8 grams here. I like to measure in grams. And we have some red pepper. Even though these are sweet, this is so little red pepper, it's not going to make it hot. If you don't want to use red pepper, use regular black pepper. This is just 2 grams of red pepper. And then we have fennel. Total optional thing. You go to a good pork store, you'll see sausages here that are with fennel, and you'll see sausages here without fennel. Some people like fennel, some people don't. I found out I like fennel, but I don't like biting these little things. So what I do is I get a little spice grinder, I measured out the fennel, and just give it a quick grind. You won't hurt your teeth in it. And you throw that in there. That's 5 grams of fennel. And then this is another total optional thing. The only thing with this, even though this is sweet, this is pepper sauce. This is pepper sauce. They make a sweet pepper sauce and they make a hot chili pepper sauce. The only place I saw this is at Coluccio's in Brooklyn. I'm sure other places will find. You want to omit it. Gives it a nice taste. The only thing is your sweet peppers and your hot peppers are all going to look red and the same. And so you have to mix it up good. Don't be a little cold. I mean, you can put gloves on if you want. Get a little fire going here, because one thing we want to do is you want to test it out. You want to make a little patty and try it. But you don't want to go through all this work. And you make your sausages, you put them in the casing, you spend a couple hours, and you say, oh my God, this sucks. So we want to test it first. It'll take a while to mix. Want to get everything in there good. And while I'm mixing, a little story on how I got this recipe. A friend of mine's little Italian family, they would do this every year, but they would do this to make dry sausages. Those you have to hang up and you let it cure for 2 months. There's really no difference in here other than in fresh sausage, there's no cure. And there's no drying out. You have to eat these or freeze them. So what I did to get this recipe, these little old Italian ladies would want to kill me every year, because every year I would try, Lena, I need a recipe. I just do it, Rico. Just throw the stuff on, it's okay. So what I would do is every year I finally figured out a way to do it. I say, okay, Lena, here's what you're going to do. I'm going to measure the salt. She would take the salt and go, doop, 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 doop. And this was like 100 pounds at a time. We did like 700 pounds that day. So I would measure the salt before she did it, so I didn't bother her. And then when she was done, I measured the salt again. And the difference was what she used. And I did the same thing with the pepper, and I did the same thing with everything else. And after a couple of years of aggravating them, I got a decent recipe, looking pretty mixed up well. Like you see, that pepper sauce is giving it a red color, which is going to make it look hot, but it's not. I have to make a little patty, because you don't want to do all this work and say, this sucks. So, a little piece in the frying pan there. I don't know where my taste tester went. She's hanging around here somewhere. When I did it with my little old Italian lady's friend, the husband, he was a piece of work. He didn't need a frying pan to fry it. He would take it right out of the thing with the cure and all, which is dangerous, because the cure is not dangerous, but if you eat it right away, it's a little dangerous. He would just take a little piece right out of the pot, eat it, and go, Alina, ain't good, let's go. And that was it. Okay, it's taste test time. We're going to try a little piece. You taste it. Does it need more salt? Need more spice? Actually, pretty good. I'll get my real taste tester. If this continues, this will be like cooking with Lilo. She's gonna get in all the videos, because she's the biggest hot dog I ever saw. It was pretty good. I think we're ready to roll, and next step is stuffing. We could do this with the KitchenAid. This is the same grinder attachment that comes with a a sausage stuffer attachment, but we're going to go with a regular sausage stuffer, a little easier, and we'll get to show you how this works. And yeah, I just love the KitchenAid. This is probably 20 years old, and it still works like new. Okay, I just wanted to show you the casings first. These are the casings, they're hog casings. Now they come loaded in salt, so you really have to rinse these off, and they're kind of a little hard. You have to rinse them off. You put them in, you rinse them off in water. You let them soak in water a little bit. They come nice and soft, which makes it somewhat easy to get them onto the tube. And this is a 5-pound stuffer, so it was kind of perfect for what we did. As you know, we stuffed all the meat into here, and we'll just load it up. And pretty much we'll get started. Okay, starting to go. You don't see some air coming to here. You just grab it, kind of does it himself. Let the sausage, let the casing fall. You know, they look delicate, but they're very strong. I know they're hog casing, so they're holding the intestines of a pig, so they got to be somewhat strong. Just roll them out. Normally we do this sitting down, but try and have a better view here. You know, it's good old shortstop hands come in useful a little bit. Okay, we're done. We're at the end of the road. And we'll get these off and we'll tie them up a little bit. Okay, when you're done, you're going to have a little leftover in here. You know, a little trick, just while the sausage is still in the casing, just push it through, you'll get a little more meat. You're always going to wind up with a little extra on your last run. So you make patties. You make a patty and you got one extra patty. You can do this. You don't have a grinder, have your butcher cut the meat. We don't care. You don't have a sausage stuffer, make patties. We don't care. You don't plan on doing this, then we care. You can do this. It's not that hard. Okay, and down the stretch they come, the final piece, tying them up into link sizes. This is you want to use something fairly thin, like almost a bakery, that they would tie up a bakery box. This is butcher's twine. It's a little too thick for this. If that's all you have, that's all you have. Well, you don't even have to tie it. I'm no professional in this, but just get it started. You know, they're pretty, like you see, they're pretty, they could take a licking, they could take a beating. Just get it in there. Give it a tug, they really won't break. Whatever, probably some butchers are looking at me and saying, what is this idiot doing? But the idea is to get it done. If you get it done, it's right. Tie it again. Tie it again. Not even tying, just looping, and I want to try to get a little bigger here. We're going to make it. Will this be a perfect recipe on the string? To us, a perfect recipe is not whether the thing is good or not. It's if it fits. If it fits. If you make a pie and it fits into the pan, it's a perfect recipe whether it sucks or not. And that's pretty much perfect recipe. So that's it. You can wear it around there. You could do this, good luck. And we got a little doggy here who's waiting for an accident, but not happening, we hope. Okay, goodbye everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Hi, this is Rico signing off. I just wanted to thank everyone for watching. Hope you learned something, and more important, I hope you have the nerve to try this. It's not that hard. What could you ruin? A few dollars worth of meat. It's not that difficult. It's not rocket science. Just do it. And arrivederci for Brooklyn, and hopefully we'll have some more videos in the future. Thank you.